All right, everyone, we're back here live, C. Allen Morning Show. I tell you the show again about beauty, fashion, entertainment. Today we're talking about why hairdressers are secure. On Thursday, the Wall Street Journal came out with an article that discussed the rise of people in the industry where there are personal services and how that had increased 4%, which is huge. And one of the things that we were talking about before MD was talking, who's our director of admissions at the Bennett Career Institute, we were talking about just how we deal with the different students that come in the door. One of the things that I would say, that we have had an increasing number of students that come in the door for cosmetology and for barbering, but oftentimes they come in with the wrong idea of what beauty school is about. So let's kind of talk about that for a minute. A lot of you feel that beauty school is a place where they come in and they work on their mannequins and they play and they learn how to do great creative hairstyles, and then they go on the clinic floor and they work on live people, and then they receive 1,500 hours and then they go to the state board. One of the things that we want to break that misnomer, one of the things that you must understand is it is just like you're going to college. Now, I'm a graduate from Morehouse College, also a graduate from the Howard University School of Education. And when I tell you that some of the things in my cosmetology textbook is a little more difficult than some of the things that was in my master's degree studies in education. And this is why we need to make everybody understand what happens when it's time to go to a beauty school. What bothers me is a lot of times we get a lot of riffraffs that come in the door. Let's talk about it. We get a lot of people that come in the door. I can't believe we had an agency a couple of months ago sent students over to apply for cosmetology, and the guys came in the door was reeking with marijuana, and it smelled up the entire lobby. And these are the kind of people that you want us to take because you feel like cosmetology or barbering is just anybody that's just doing whatever they want to do. Let's send them to the beauty school so they can learn how to do a trade. And what you're forgetting is the textbook has about 500-600 pages. You're forgetting that it's a textbook, or you're not forgetting, but you have no clue that it's a textbook, it's a state board book, it's a review book, and it is a study guide book. It's 3 books that we give the students, and they are tested on a weekly basis. There's something called theory where we train them every single day from 9 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the morning. They're in uninterrupted theory. This is by law from our accrediting agency. This is where we break down the book. This is where we go into things like my favorite one that everybody tired of hearing is chemical hair relaxant. Permanently rearranges the structure of hair from over curly to a straight form. These are things that we learn in our textbook. The composition of hair, carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, the elements, the chemical elements of hair. These are things that we must learn when we enter into what they call a beauty school. And a lot of times we look down to beauty schools. Yes. Let's talk about when I go on my vacations with all of my other college friends who Tony Brown is an attorney and Leslie is a dentist and Rod is an attorney and the list goes on. And then when it comes to talking about our jobs and what's going on, they come to me and they say, well, how many press and curls you did? And everybody start laughing and they look into the industry as it is not a viable career. And that is the reason why I'm excited when I saw the Wall Street Journal on the front page talking about why hairdressers are secure. Because the funny thing is, and I'm not going to put my friends on blast because, they're listening. Some is in Switzerland and in Atlanta and all the places, and they listen to me. So I'm not going to talk about you real bad this morning. But one thing I can say is there are attorneys a dime a dozen. But there may be hairdressers also a dime a dozen, but it's all about how you have been trained, how you're able to build a clientele, and most importantly, we as hairdressers, many of us, we work for ourselves. So when we talk about coming into a beauty school, you must understand that if you have a daughter or granddaughter or niece or nephew that you see that they have some creative talent, they can draw, or they have a creative edge to them, that's one portion. But the other portion is make sure your child know how to read and write. Make sure that they know how to complete a sentence. Make sure that they can be able to study and research, because part of the beauty school experience is you have projects that are due, science projects that are due. You have weekly assignments that are due. And most importantly, at the Bennett Career Institute, I train you on the business aspect. We have what is called the business series 2 to 3 times a year, where I train you on how to start and open your own business and be successful. Part of the problem, and it's in my book that's coming out this fall, but part of the problem that we have with people who want to then open up hair salons, one of the biggest problems is you need to go to beauty school. And I know some of you are not going to like that, because I have so many retired people who have been professionals for 30 years, and they say, for my retirement, I want to invest in a beauty salon, because people always need their hair done. So I want to invest in a beauty salon. And the first thing in my book, listen to me, I'm giving you the sample. The first thing in the book is, if you want to open up a beauty salon, you need to go to beauty school. Why do I have to do that, C. Allen? I have a degree in business management, and I worked for corporate America for Xerox for 25 years, and if I can manage them, surely I can manage a bunch of hairstylists. First of all, hairstylists and barbers, creative people. You know about artists. You know how they do. It's the same thing. They get up and leave in a minute. They walk out on you in a minute. All kinds of stuff going on. You need to, in my book, I tell you the first thing that you need to do if you want to open up a beauty business is you need to enter into the beauty realm. I started the wrong way. When I opened up the Bennett Career Institute, I had ran beauty schools for 5 years, but I never went to beauty school. The first thing that I did in 1996, I opened in 96. January 1997, I enrolled at the Bennett Career Institute myself. I had on a white uniform. I never forget. Thank you, Joyce Bennett. My mother bought me that uniform. Everybody said I was an ice cream man because I was in white from head to toe, baby. But I was in class every day. My teachers, Ms. Juhas, Ms. Turkvan, Mr. Kirby. I can remember being in beauty school, and yes, I was the owner, but I had to learn how to do the trade first. So, wrapping up all of that, what I think is important, everyone, to know is that the article talked about why hairdressers are secure, and that is because we are into personal services, and personal services is on the rise. You see, but where all of a sudden here come all the art of shavings. We never seen that before, where men are going in to get a well-groomed shaved. You know, now we're doing at the Sea Island salons and spas, we're doing more facials, and we're doing more scalp analysis. We're doing scalp massages. People are coming in because they want services. You got to remember, people are stressed out here. And one of the things that they want to do is when you look good, you feel better. So what does that mean? That means I'm going to go to a professional that's going to help me look good so I can feel better about my situation. And MD said it, even when you're unemployed, you still need your hair done. So I would say, we got to go to commercial break, but I would say a big heads up or a big shout out to the people, the great folks over at the Wall Street Journal, to remind us that how important it is for us being in the hairdressing and the cosmetology industry. Now, when we come back after the commercial break, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little more about the importance of enrolling into an awesome program, the importance of treating your client right, and the importance of making sure that you continue to have that job secure. So what I think is important is, I think that when they talk about the rise of 4%, 4% is huge. A caller had mentioned to me to make sure that I mention again that if you do not have a high school diploma or GED, you got to remember that you're no longer eligible to receive those funds. You have to go back and get that high school diploma. No more ATB. You can get in on ATB to enroll in school, but you won't get federal funds. So that's basically the same thing. All right, everybody, it's time for another commercial here. And when we come back, we're going to close out our session talking about why hairdressers are secure. 1450 AM WOL, where information is power. It's all about Beauty Talk Radio. We'll be right back after these messages.